Welcome, I'm Esther Buerki, the author of Living Without Fear and the co-publisher of the Amazon best-selling Inspired Journeys. Get in touch with me if you want to start living without fear or writing a book. And please share this podcast with a friend who you know needs to hear this episode. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, write a short review, or rate the podcast on your favorite platform with a lot of stars if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your support. This truly means a lot to me. Today, I'd like to come back to a topic I've been thinking and talking a lot already. Doubts and self-doubts. And why do I come back to this topic? Because it's an ongoing topic in my life. If you think I'm over this, you're wrong. And I guess everybody has doubts and self-doubts because our brain is wired this way. Only animals are different. A cat, for example, doesn't doubt if it has the right to catch this mouse and eat it, or if it is worthy enough to lay in the sun this afternoon or not. We are such sophisticated creatures, but we have to deal with our self-doubts, and those might stand in the way of a lot of things we want to accomplish, but we doubt that we are allowed to start this new business or a new hobby. This morning, I took again a swimming class with a trainer I value a lot because she is so spot on when she has to describe what's wrong with my technique. And as you know me, swimming isn't something I just started from scratch, but I practiced a lot in the past years, and which taught me so many lessons for my life. If you haven't listened to the episode from August 31 with the title From Doubt to Win, My Path, where I take you with me on my open water race, and where I felt so ashamed by myself at the beginning, and where I ended up with a gold medal. Go back to it. Don't miss it. This morning, when my trainer corrected my arm technique, I was fine at the beginning, but the longer the lesson lasted, the more insecure I got. And after the lesson, when I did some rounds on my own in the outdoor pool under a rainy sky, I asked myself why I get so easily back to self-doubts when someone analyzes my swimming style. Why do I feel corrected? But it's not only the correction goes deeper. Self-doubts creep in, but not only regarding my arm technique, but my whole swimming style. And I feel kind of ashamed that I have the courage to take swimming lessons and feel good at swimming most of the times. Isn't this weird? Where does this come from? Why do I doubt myself so much? And as you might guess, it all started in childhood with my parents and later with my first grade teacher, who was so upset because of me. I was the weakest student, she told my parents, she had ever got in her whole teacher career, which meant for many decades, as she was already in her 60s. She felt ashamed to have me in her class and not being able to teach me the basics in calculation and writing. So whenever someone else corrects me, I get reminded of those terrible 2 years with this teacher, and I start doubting myself. But you can say now, okay, this is it. Too bad for you. But there is actually what I call the work which needs to get started. And this is what makes the difference between some successful people and some less successful people. As we all have self-doubts and feel insecure, we need to develop the strategies to get over our insecurities. How do I do it? I really feel into myself and listen to the feelings which are there. And then I ask myself, when did you feel the same time? I go back in my memories. Sometimes I first remember recent moments, but then I push myself to go further back to my childhood. And there I always find this little girl who has been hurt by adults, parents or teachers, and who feels so ashamed, so insecure, full of self-doubts. It's a little girl who likes to disappear from the surface and hide somewhere. A little girl who doesn't feel protected by another being. It is so alone. There is no one to go to. There's just shame and this little girl. And then the big sister, who I am today, or the loving mother I learned to be, comes in. I take this little girl by the hand. I talk to it in a soft manner. I give the little girl a hug. And I tell the girl how much I love her with all her insecurities and self-doubts. All is fine. You're doing great. I understand why you feel so bad. And step by step, I feel that this little girl in me relaxes and starts feeling okay again. Do you follow me? Have you ever talked to you in this soothing way? I didn't learn this in psychotherapy, although I'm very grateful for all the therapists I had. I wouldn't be here anymore without them. But I've been practicing this self-soothing a lot in the past years, and it always works. And as I know, I'm the only one who can bring real change into my life. I don't expect anymore that someone else can help me. It's nice if someone who understands me very well is around and can find some comforting words, but I need to listen to myself, to those inner parts who are hurt and who needs to be consoled by my adult self, who is capable to take care of the younger self. And the more I take care of this little wounded girl in me, the faster my self-doubts and insecurities disappear. If you do so as well, you're not dependent on your dear friend or spouse or therapist, and you don't have to wait until you can talk about what is bothering you. You can take care of yourself and help yourself right on the spot. This is so liberating. And you can move on in your daily life, and you have a lot of free capacity to take care of others around you who need it. I remember some years ago, I always needed someone I could talk to and process my feelings and thoughts and self-doubts. Often it has been my therapists, and I was always so happy that I could leave the therapy room after an hour and feel strong again, full of positive thoughts about myself. But what if something happened and I didn't have an upcoming therapy appointment? The hurt and negative emotions piled up, and I was always afraid that I would lose my control in my workplace, being together with my boss or my colleagues. If you know what I mean, and if you have similar challenges, I recommend you start journaling and writing down your thoughts and feelings to be able to digest them and to comfort yourself as quickly as possible. And if you need some help, let me know. Thank you, dear listener, for spending your precious time with me and being open to learn how to get over your insecurities and self-doubts. And I cannot repeat it enough. In case you feel worthless today and nobody seems to like you, I tell you, you're amazing, I love you, and you're a gift to everyone who crosses your path. And please tell yourself these sentences over and over again. Have an amazing day and talk to you next week.